What is up? Welcome into the On the Bluff podcast. Episode 141 is live. And with you, Gabe Kuhn, your host, and alongside me, co-hosting tonight, Kenny Stubblefield. Kenny, it is absolutely phenomenal because of one thing in particular.
Uh-oh.
It's game week, brother.
Oh,
it's game
God.
week. Memphis Tigers versus Chattanooga Mocs coming up on Saturday.
And it's like the football gods have shone their light upon us by giving us weather that is like, it feels like fall outside.
This weekend's going to be special for me. A very special one. There's
have you announced this yet? Have you announced
three things? We're going to talk about it.
Okay.
First, my family's going to be in town, right?
Yeah,
so I'm going to have my mom, my pops, and my little sister in town to come watch the game, take in the sights, take in the sounds. Second part, Myers will be in attendance coming up on Saturday. It'll be his first Tigers game. We'll see how he gets through it. You know, we're going to give him the earphones.
He's a beast.
See how it all works out. But that will be emotional for me. And then the third thing, 2014, the first team I started on.
Oh my gosh.
As a center, we won the Miami Beach Bowl and of course won the Brawl as well.
Yes, you did.
We went 10-3, finished the year ranked number 25 in the country.
Yeah.
And 2014 and that team and those players will be honored coming up on Saturday for those that don't know when it comes to that Chattanooga game. So that should be should be really fun, man.
Is it going to be before the game or is it?
I think we're doing a bunch of events going into the weekend, getting together, tailgating, and then on Saturday, I believe at halftime or at one of the timeouts, we're gonna be out there. And it I know that a lot of Tiger fans know this already, but that team, while it's not the best team in this run, it was the start of the run. Like that that is a special group of human beings, truthfully.
Yeah.
And one of the most fun years I ever had playing football. To see that like early success, redshirt freshman year, starting for the first time, not knowing what to expect. You go 3-9 the year before. But it was really after that UCLA game in the Rose Bowl late at night. Fritz Etienne had a pick six off Brett Hundley to sort of tie the game up at 35. They ended up taking the lead. Then we could have come down and scored. Brandon Hayes got tripped up, and we didn't quite make it down there to win the game. But that was kind of that moment, where we realized, oh shit.
Oh, we got
something building here. Like we have some juice, and it feels like since that game, the juice has stayed.
Yeah.
And my God, that's what's amazing about that 2014 team and what it represented.
Well, the studs on that team too, like
Bobby McCain, Martin Affetti. Oh my gosh,
Anthony Miller was on that team.
Anthony Miller didn't really get to play, but he was hurt. He got hurt early in the year.
Right.
So there were Mose Frazier, Tevin Jones.
Jannard Avery was on that team.
Well, he was, but he
was a freshman.
He had a smaller role. But like Terry Redden was an awesome nose tackle. Made my life hell at practice every day. I just can't wait to see those guys. Needless to say, I can't wait to see those guys reconnect and sort of take in what the University of Memphis football program like truly has become. Because I know all of us, I know we don't always say it, but there's a lot of pride there, man. Like even though we haven't been able to like fully reap the benefits and rewards of what it's become, the indoor practice facility, the NIL money, the FedEx deal, like all these different things, there is a lot of pride where we can point and be like, if we never lay that groundwork, that doesn't happen. Yeah, that's not a reality.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. So when you found out that the 2014 team was being honored, were you like, obviously there's a lot of things that have happened since and a lot of really good building blocks that have happened for the Tigers football program. But it feel kind of like an affirmation to you of like, yeah, man, like what we did as a team.
Yes, and here's the thing, Kenny. I know you would think like guys on that accomplish something like that. You think of it as like this grand accomplishment. Oh, look what I did. Like you would think somebody who was able to do that would have that mindset. When they said they were going to do it, I'm like, oh shit, we were a team that is worth honoring at a game. Like I didn't think about it until I got the text and the email shout from Nate Brown over at the University of Memphis telling me that we were going to be honored at halftime. So like that's what's like surreal about it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it's only been 11 years. It's not like this is like a 20-year removal from the 1996 Tennessee win and we bring back that team or whatever it is. Like this is 11 years after the fact saying this was the start of something good. And I think that's awesome.
I do like that this current administration seems to be pretty focused in on honoring the past, right? Like honoring the teams that laid foundations for the University of Memphis athletic program and specifically for the football program. Like that 2014 team, while you're right, like might not have been the most talented team, was clearly the start of everything that we've seen over the last 11 years for this Tiger football program.
Now, we're going to get plenty of comments about this. I played on the 2017 team. I watched the 2019 Cotton Bowl team, right? I'm stacking that 2014 team up against both of those teams, and it's going to be a fight. And I think 2014 can come out on top.
Wow.
About half the time. Like, truthfully, like if you remember back then, offense maybe lagged a little bit behind, even though we were one of the best in the American at that time. Right. Paxton had finally taken off. Run game was okay. We were spreading the ball around, throwing it. Did a lot of sort of RPO stuff, read option stuff before it was super popular. Ran the ball with Paxton a little bit. But our defense, nasty, brother. We had the defensive player of the year in Tank Jakes in the conference.
Yep.
He had a game, what was it, against Middle Tennessee early in that season. Forced fumble recovery. He had a few sacks. He had one for a safety. He had a pick. He did the defensive bat for the cycle thing. Yeah. Where it was like he did I think he filled up every stat you possibly could have filled up, but he won defensive player of the year. That's the last time we've been able to say that about a Memphis defense. Like you were worthy of a defensive player of the year that year.
Yeah.
That defense was nasty good.
Well, then, I mean, isn't Martin Affetti still the sack leader?
Martin Affetti's sack leader at the University of Memphis. Bobby McCain, he might be up there in interceptions leaders. Like certainly top 5. He was very, very good, and he always took the ball away. Fritz Etienne was a great safety. Got plenty of looks at the NFL level, had some camps and stuff like that. Terry Redden, I think he's one of the more unsung heroes of that entire season because his job is like a head up nose move two gap guy. He was so damn good at that, and our run defense was so good because of him. So yeah, man, we don't have to keep reminiscing, but it is a little fun. It's fun for me. I can't lie to you.
I cannot wait to get to the Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium and see that because I'm going to get emotional just talking about seeing you out there because you're my boy. And
then Charles Harris. I forgot about my guy, Chuck.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. And I'm really, really happy that the University of Memphis is celebrating that 2014 team on week 1, man. Like, so shout out. It is week 1 of football. So let's get this thing rolling, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. Now it is week 1. And we're going to get to the Tigers and the preview and the 2 deep in a second. But I did see over the weekend. Yeah. This is on Saturday. University of Memphis football Twitter put out that they're having tryouts this week. And they're for walk-ons, which in itself bizarre. But where it got weird is the requirement as to who could try out. You have to be a University of Memphis student, of course. But you have to be a DB to try out this week.
It said if you're anything else, don't worry about it.
Like when you originally saw that, Kenny, though, were you like, oh shit. Is this DB room Matt Cook? Like, because that, I hate to say it, that was my first reaction. Now we've gotten an explanation for sure. We'll mention that in a second. But what your original reaction was probably similar to mine, because Cortland, the timing of it, Cortland Marsh out for the year announced last week.
I think that was the part that it, I guess I didn't look as deep into it as you did because of your knowledge of how all the locker room and roster construction and all those things work in football. But I honestly instantly did think of Cortland and was just like, man, they are clearly down bad with Cortland being out, for the year.
Right.
It did make me laugh that they said specific to DBs. I was like, that is hilarious, man.
Right.
Like, and it
with
just makes you wonder
already about that room.
Like, who's going to come out? Like, I just kept picturing the guy that's going to come out and try out for the walk-on DB position.
I'll tell you this right now: the strength and conditioning staff is going to absolutely bury him. Whoever's lucky enough to make the team is going to get buried during tryouts, because that's what that is. That's what they do to walk-ons. It's survival of the fittest, especially when you're like that. We called them white shirt walk-ons. Because you have preferred walk-ons, but then you have like walk-ons. These are walk-ons. This tryout's a walk-on.
Like, this is a legit. You're a walk-on, bro. You're walking onto the field. We're gonna beat your ass, and if you somehow survive, you might be on the roster.
And that's why we called them white shirts, because they don't give you Memphis gear. They're just like, show up in a white shirt and black shorts, and we'll figure this out. Like, show up as generic as possible.
Oh my God.
We'll figure it out. There was a couple guys that made it through those white shirt walk-on days to really make an impact. Chris Roberson played left guard and right tackle his junior and senior year. He started like 25 games. And then Alan Cross was a white shirt walk-on. Yeah. So like, it's not unheard of.
Well, Ryan in his press conference today mentioned specifically Calvin Austin as a walk-on.
He wasn't a white shirt.
He was a preferred. Yeah, he was a preferred.
The guy ran a 10-1 100 meter. There's no way that they were going to make him do like.
I felt bad when he was talking about it. I was like, man, I feel bad for the dude that's going to come out and hear that and go, I could be playing for Pittsburgh Steelers in a couple of years.
Like the guy. Well, here's the thing. The guys that are showing up probably have in mind, like, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna make an impact this year. Like, I think after the original, like, this room's cooked, I started to think about it, and it makes sense. Cortland Marsh hurt. Yeah. Naturally, to get depth, you have to elevate guys who are probably not going to be on the travel squad, to the travel squad. You probably need some more practice bodies since you're elevating those guys. You need scout team bodies. So go ahead. But Ryan explained it pretty interestingly. And I think that it does highlight a lot of the issues that we do see with the new house settlement and people trying to get over it.
Right.
The house settlement has made roster limits and roster construction really hard on group of sixes.
Yeah.
Because we're getting rid of walk-ons, but there's guys grandfathered in. So ultimately, Ryan said they had one open roster spot, and that's how they're going to try to fill it. Walk-on DB.
It's called like a designated student athlete.
Yeah, the DSAs.
Yeah, the DSAs. And he made it very clear. Like, don't expect to come in and actually do it.
He was like, we're likely this is probably a scout team body. Let's just
100%.
Keep it a buck.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we're talking. It was a weird development for the week before the season
Kenny,
started.
The reason it's weird is, from my understanding, this is how it worked every year. Walk-on tryouts happen in June, in like late June, as hot as possible. Summer. Yeah, where you still have camp coming up. Getting guys ready to go to see who's going to be on the team. And it's usually for everyone. All offensive line, DB, whatever position group. Could be a quarterback out there, for God's sakes, that they may bring in. But like the week of specifically targeting DB, that's not normal. And I'm not going to sit here and act because people want to be positive like it's normal. I don't think it's an overwhelming negative. I don't think it's like it's going to affect this team in a big way, but I think there is a story being told there.
It's like
the story being told is they're not as deep at DB as they want to be. and they don't have as many practice bodies as they need. That's what the story is. But moving on. Week 1 is on the way. Tigers are going to be playing Chattanooga, and we have our 2 deep. First 2 deep of the year.
Man.
How about it? We want to pull that up. Do we want to try to pull that up?
Do you want me to? I can if you want me to.
I guess sort of pull it up.
Let me see if we
know it's kind of small.
Yeah.
But the first thing that does pop out, it popped out to me, and I knew this was going to be the case before they even released it, is 3 returning starters on the entire team. That is all that this team has. Left tackle, Chris Adams. Left guard, Malachi Breland. And defensive end, William Whitlow. Past that, all new team.
Brand new team.
Brand new. 19 different players.
Could we
consider going to be getting their first snaps with the Tigers this year?
I know he wasn't I mean, Greg
wasn't a starter.
I know.
And I shouldn't say 19 new players are going to get their first snaps with the Tigers, because Greg and Sutton have already done that.
Right.
But 19 new starters. 19 that will be playing the first snap of their first game coming up on Saturday, which should be fun. Outside of that, we'll start at quarterback.
Yeah.
We know Brendan Lewis was named the starter. I was kind of interested to see that they're leaving some room there for A.J. Hill to potentially be a full-time backup.
Absolutely.
You have Arrington Maiden and A.J. Hill as oars, not Arrington Maiden, then A.J. Hill. It is Arrington Maiden or A.J. Hill. So I'm curious to see, because Saturday this may be something we look at. If the Tigers get up big, get into the fourth quarter, are they going to get A.J. Hill some run? Lets people see him. We know he's the future of the program, highest rated recruit at the quarterback position in program history. That's going to be interesting to watch. I think the best position group, truthfully, outside of running back, because I think that running back room experience meets versatility, meets game-breaking ability, meets, touchdown production.
Right.
Really love Greg DeRosier Jr. and Sutton Smith. The other group that I am really high on, I love this linebacking core.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Drew Watts from Nevada is going to probably start at the Sam. He's a guy who had about 50 tackles last year for Nevada. At Mike, I got to watch this guy and call his games at Northwest Mississippi Community College. He's coming from Virginia Tech. Previous to that, I think he was at Washington State, but Sam Brumfield. And I'll tell you something about this kid. Had a fair amount of tackles last year at Virginia Tech in the ACC, but he is a thumper. Like when we talk like Mike linebacker, he is that 6 foot, 240, short neck, like in between the tackle, run fitting Mike.
Yeah.
And he will make a lot of tackles this year. Just remember I said that. And then I really like who they have at will, because the athleticism, the ability they have to sort of move him around. Think of him as the guy from Harvard last year that played linebacker, where they would line him up on the edge, give him some pass rush snaps. Everett Rousseau Jr. coming over from UAB. He had nearly 80 tackles at UAB last year.
Yeah.
He can go sideline to sideline. He's a really good athlete, and he could, you could line him up on the edge with that 3 down front. It could be fun to sort of watch him move. But that linebacking core, even though it's brand new, not a whole lot of understanding of all these players from the general fan. That's the group I look at outside of that running back room as, okay, this is going to be a strength of this team.
I think for me, the interesting part about the 2 deep is the names that aren't on there.
Yes.
Get me really excited for the names that are on there, because I want to know about them, right? Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. In the tight end room, when Jerry Cross, former Penn State transfer, came over, it was an automatic assumption that Jerry Cross would be the main tight end for this football program this year, coming from where he came from, kind of his story, his history, how good he is. And then you look at the 2 deep, and the two deep is Christian Ross and Bryce Anderson. And Ryan was asked about that specifically today, and he said didn't even really mention Jerry's name, but mentioned how much faith he has in Christian Ross and Bryce Anderson. And so you have to wonder, like, we're talking big monster kids. Christian Ross, 6'4", 225. Bryce Anderson, 6'5", 250. You're talking about a group of guys that he seems to think are going to be very special for the Tiger football team this year. And even went as far as to say, Gabe, Christian Ross and Bryce Anderson are interchangeable for him in terms of how many snaps he wants them to have. He said if there's 80 snaps in a game and Christian gets 40 and Bryce gets 40, I'll be perfectly fine with that.
Well, but let's also we have to use our thinking caps from a personnel standpoint here.
Okay.
Christian Ross, he's listed as the starter. He's a smaller tight end. Yes, he's tall. He's 225 though. I would imagine Christian Ross is more of the pass catcher route runner. Think of Sean Dykes back in the day or something like that. Joey Magnifico, like built in that vein where he can do some blocking, hipped off as a wing, but you don't necessarily want him in line down blocking on 275-pound DNs and 275-pound 3 techniques, 300-pound 3 techniques. That's probably not something you want him to do.
Right.
So that is my assumption that he's sort of the more pass catching type of tight end.
Right.
And then Bryce Anderson behind him fits the sort of Anthony Landfair mold of I can put him in line, make him an extra tackle, maybe give him a seam route, give him some regular tight end looks across the middle of the field. Right. And I feel comfortable. He's 6'5", 250.
Yeah.
So I think that being able to have both of those guys and their skill sets, it gives you a versatility to your offense. You could also play 12 personnel, which would be 1 back, 2 tight ends, and you could potentially have them on the field at the same time. And that creates a bind for a linebacking core, for safeties, and who they need to be matched up with, how they're matching up with them. Yeah. So I think there's some versatility that comes with the way that they built that tight end room.
Another position group that you specifically have an affinity towards, and we talked about a little bit in the green room before we started, was this offensive line, which Ryan has been extremely high on this offseason. He has talked about it being the most athletic offensive line he's ever had at Memphis. And let's not forget, his time at Memphis goes way beyond just him being the head coach at the University of Memphis. He knows O-line. He knows the O-line at Memphis specifically. He's been there for years since, like 2017, 16.
Yeah.
Like
16,
he's been
16.
Yeah, he's been there. He's been there for a long time.
Man.
But you talked about specifically the size of some of these guys. And
listen, I think they're bigger. I think they're naturally bigger.
Okay.
Because of the right tackle, he sort of brings them up. If you haven't seen this yet, Travis Burke, Florida international transfer, 6'9", 315. If you were wondering, but Chris Adams has put on some weight from last year. He played at like 280 last year. I think he's gotten bigger. He's 6'5". He's a returner. He could be an all-conference guy.
We know about Chris Adams.
Malachi Breland. He's 6'5", 325, and moves very damn well at that size. I got to be honest with you. I was surprised Malachi Breland didn't get like Power 4, and maybe he did, but Power 4 interest this offseason. And I'm sure maybe Memphis lined his pockets a little bit more, but he's a dog. That guy, I'm telling you, is one of the best kept secrets on this entire team. I said it last year. He's going to have a really good year. I expect him to finish the season on an all-conference team. Yakiri Walker, transfer from Colorado, a lot of experience in FBS. Feel comfortable with him. And then Parker Mitchell, I don't know how to feel. Transfer from Richmond. They list him at 270, 6'3", 270. I can't imagine that they're going to play a right guard at 270. I hope they didn't. I hope they tried to put some weight on him going into the season. But I think like when we talk about just average size on an offensive line, I think that this offensive line is going to just look bigger than it has in the past.
Yeah.
And I thought last year they were pretty sizable as well.
I'm excited to see what this offensive line looks like, especially with the language that Silverfield has been using about them. The athleticism, it tells me that they're going to be super creative. If they can get these dudes out, and block downfield, they're going to be super creative with their run game this year if they can do that. Like, I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah. What's the biggest bummer from this too deep release? Because I think it's pretty clear, at least to me. What do you think the biggest bummer is?
Let me think. Let me look at it.
Okay,
quick.
I'll give you mine.
Yeah, give me yours.
CJ Smith, we learned he was injured because of this.
Right.
CJ Smith, of course, 4-star out of high school, committed to Georgia, went to Purdue, 330 yards receiving last year. He was on the Bruce Feldman freaks list, where he squats nearly 500, ran a 10-2 100-meter in high school. Like he's a stud. Now he's injured. That's why he's not on this list. He probably would have been a starter. I also, if you'll remember, 2 years ago, they ended up getting a 4-star recruit to commit by the name of Keondae Henry. He's on the roster. He just didn't make the too deep. Yeah. He didn't make the too deep. That kind of bummed me out a little bit. Now, again, like whenever you see a guy that you expect a lot from not on the too deep, maybe you could spin it positive, saying the guys ahead of them were just undeniable. But I would assume, considering how unknown this wide receiver room is, Keondae probably didn't show through as much as he should have in camp. But wide receiver room, Jerkari Caldwell from North Carolina A&T, that'll be sort of the outside receiver. He's 6'4", 195. Then in the slot, you'll have Jamari Hawkins, who's been on campus for 3 years at this point, 5'9", 185. He's very, very quick. He's got some twitchiness to him. He should be really fun out of the slot. And then Marcelo Bussey is going to be sort of the move wide receiver. And if you remember Brady Clues from last year,
right?
It's not listed as an or, but I think he's a very, very close second string to Marcelo Bussey as sort of the move wide receiver. You can play him in the slot, play him outside, give them all the route combinations that you could potentially want. I think that's what that wide receiver spot is sort of indicating to us. But I was disappointed not seeing CJ Smith, finding out he was injured, and Keondae Henry. I had a lot of high hopes for him when he came in, and hasn't quite broke through yet.
It's interesting in the CJ Smith deal. Ryan talked about it in the press conference today, and it didn't sound great, Gabe. I'll be honest with you. Like the injury that whatever injury issue, he didn't go into detail. Obviously, you don't do that. But
we have to learn before the game, right? Because there's injury reports that are being published by the American now. So,
well, what he said is that at some point this season, CJ Smith will play a role in this team. That did not sound great to me. That part. But again, I want to give a big shout out to two of the guys on this too deep, and that's number one is Sutton Smith. And Marcelo Bussey that are coming back from like super severe knee injuries from last year and have made their way back to be on the two deep, starting week 1 of the next season. Shout out to them for fighting their way back. I do have questions about like, what is Sutton going to look like? I think he's an explosive athlete, an explosive running back. We saw the things that he can do. But coming off knee injuries, man, like it's gonna take. Here's what I would do if I was Krams. I would throw the ball to Sutton in the flat and just let him get tackled the first play of the game and get it out of the way.
I think there's a couple of different ways that guys come back from injury, and it's usually about the physical or the mental. Right. Physical to me doesn't really fit Sutton, right? Because Sutton, this is his first big injury. I think for him, it's about the mentality of, I have a surgically repaired ACL in my knee. Like how do I trust to cut on a dime, to stop and start, to do these things when that's ultimately what happened to Snap It last year in the first game.
First quarter, it's going to be a first quarter of the first
game to get over. But I don't know if physically you should be all that worried about Sutton. ACL surgeries have come so far, and if he was like a super senior that had 4 surgeries on his right knee, sure, I would be worried about the physical, like how's he going to take punishment when he gets hit that first time? Is he going to break? You know what I mean? That's where I would worry about that. But Sutton, this is one big injury. ACL surgery has been handled. And I also think the fact that he's listed as the starting punt returner and one of the starting kickoff returners tells you that this staff probably believes, hey, this guy came back from injury and he's just about what he once was.
Well,
like, and we think he's that big play, big game breaker, if you will. Or else you don't put him as a returner.
You talked about that for a second, and I think that's interesting. Kickoff returner, punt returner, the two guys in the two deep are the two starting running backs for the team, and you like that. You said you appreciated that. Yeah,
all for it. The best teams I ever played for at the University of Memphis, our best players played on special teams.
Interesting.
I think when you get into the business of trying to make reserve special teamers, I think you lose something. I think you need, just like you need on offense and defense, special playmakers. You need that on special teams. So I've always appreciated that. Truly.
Yep. I'm excited. It is, I love this time of the year because you start to get like I don't know, we know this about Brendan Lewis. Like we know what he does. We've seen game film. We've seen his stats coming out of Nevada and Colorado. But Ryan even mentioned it today in the press conference. It was almost like he was saying something without saying something. He was talking about how good of a runner Brendan Lewis is.
Yes.
And like how different it's going to look.
Listen, my assumption, especially after looking at the wide receiver room, knowing about CJ Smith's injury and seeing who didn't break through, I brought up Keondae Henry. I think what we have to see in the first 3 games of the year, which are relatively light, you have Chat, Georgia State, Troy. And I know that the Georgia State and Troy are on the road. That poses its own
Troy's
little
going to be tough.
I don't know. They haven't been the same since Summerall left. But, and we saw them last year, not very good. But my assumption is that the run game, the offensive line, and in general, the RPO game are going to have to be very strong out of the gate.
Yes.
Adding the downfield passing game, vertical passing game, intermediate, whatever it looks like, I think there's going to be some learning to that. You have a quarterback who that's not necessarily his strong suit, even though he can do it. And you have a bunch of wide receivers that are sort of inexperienced, haven't been in this system. So my assumption is that look for a lot of read option, RPO, and this offensive line to break through, show you something in the first 3 weeks before they get to that Arkansas game. By the time they get to that Arkansas game, though, if they want to win that game, be competitive in that game, they better be rolling and have that playbook open. Now, let's do this. Brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. We have some lines to talk about when it comes to Memphis football.
So crazy, man. These lines,
their win total, and it's all over the place, to be fair to our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. I don't blame them, though. Like I said, 19 new starters, a lot of new faces. Win total, 8.5. Over is actually juiced a little bit, plus 100. Under, which is the favorite, minus 122. To win the American Conference, FanDuel has actually had them jump UTSA. UTSA is no longer the favorite to win conference, or third favorite to win conference. Now ahead of Memphis is only Tulane and Navy. Memphis plus 450 to win the American Conference. And then I think when you look at those first two, 8.5 wins. They're favored to win about 8 or 7. They're favored on the under. And you look at the American Conference. They're not the favorite to win the American Conference. To make the playoff, they're plus 1,040. Now, I know that looks like a long shot. It is a long shot. But they're actually 4th among group of 6 teams to make the college football playoff. It goes Boise State at plus 180, Tulane at plus 880, and then James Madison is somewhere around plus 900. Then you have Memphis at plus 1040. So, it's such a mixed bag of expectations, not just in town, but out of town. Looking at the odds makers, the national pundits, I don't know if there's a firm grasp on what we're going to see coming up on Saturday and as we get into the season.
Yeah, it is weird. It definitely feels like nobody really knows what to do with this Tigers team, and I think that's fair, right? Like replacing so many new starters, I think the Tigers are getting a little bit of love because of that, 11-year run that the Tigers football program has had in terms of success. Thank you to the 2014 Memphis Tiger football team. But it is so interesting to me that they are, what did you say? Top 2 in
they're
G5?
They're third to win the American Conference, but only 4th shortest odds to make the playoff out of the group of 6.
It's crazy.
That doesn't exactly compute in my head.
Yeah, it does.
But I will say, just from looking through the odds, I think that so Navy's ahead of them to win the American Conference, but Navy's below them when it comes to making the playoff. I think that generally odds makers stay away from triple option service academies when it comes to making the playoff. They just don't really want to. They don't want to go down that road. So maybe that's part of it. Memphis plays a style of ball that lends itself to, if they get through that Arkansas game, 4-0, would run the table. That triple option can be weird week to week.
Yeah.
You could beat the hell out of Tulane and then lose to Charlotte the next week if they have a good plan for it. So I guess I kind of get it, but it doesn't really compute.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. What is the have you seen the line for today for Saturday's game? Are the Tigers, have they even come out with that yet? I don't think they have they?
I don't, to be honest.
It's gotta be
I'm not totally positive that our friends at FanDuel have posted this one as something you can bet on. That's just my assumption.
They're probably like,
I'm going to go to the general line. I'm going to go to the consensus line here really quick, just for funsies. Coming up on Saturday, Memphis, no line. They have not published a line. They haven't published a line.
I love it.
So if there's no composite line that I can see, I doubt that FanDuel's going to let you throw money on it. But I wouldn't. I mean, if it was minus 50. Do you really want to bet on that?
No. Why would you waste your time?
You really want to touch that? I wouldn't. That's too many damn points. All right, now we need to go ahead and get to the hot 3. So let's go ahead and grab a break, and when we come back, Kenny is going to take it over, and we will get to the hot 3.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderlin Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
That the one stat that could swing the Memphis Grizzlies is 30.5%. What is 30.5%? Is that over his past 3 seasons, Ja Morant has shot just 30.5% from 3, which is the worst mark amongst all point guards in that span, with a minimum of 500 attempts.
Boy, and it's bad when the person that's most closely linked to you in terms of 3-point percentage over the past 3 years is nicknamed Westbrick. I mean, pace and space is really key, and as good as Ja Morant is, his best quality is getting to the rim, and the best defense about getting to the rim is being able to play off of him a little bit. Listen, Ja Morant's going to be amazing. He's going to be amazing, but I'm not going to say that there's a ceiling to Ja Morant, but if you want to go superstar and you're talking about being the best player on a finals team, you can't have a hole as big as a hole in in John Morant's game that this 3-point shot is.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m., only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
We got more information. Crime actually was invented in downtown Memphis, man.
According to a lot of people, it feels like Memphis invented crime. Like crime never existed. Nowhere else in the world.
Nowhere else in the world is there crime but Memphis.
Is there crime except for downtown
man.
Memphis.
Kid, I parked my car outside my apartment. Kid, I came outside, my car was gone. And I found my car in a minute, Kenny. It was in an abandoned house in South Memphis, and I got my car back, Kenny. And Kenny, I have my own story to tell. My car got stolen, so I can't confirm that there actually is crime in the city.
Oh, so like the actual numbers and evidence
that
doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Your anecdotal stories of individuals that have been impacted by crime invented in downtown Memphis.
And Ken, I hate to say this, man. I love the Grizzlies. Y'all know I do, man. But let's get them away from you scoundrels out here, man. Just move them to somewhere safe, Seattle. Let's move them to Germantown Parkway.
Check out the Anthony Sane Show Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. All right, we are back. It is time for the Hot 3. But before we do the Hot 3, I have a video I want to show you. I've been, listen, I'm going to be, break kayfabe for a second. This is pre-recorded. We're recording this on Monday night. It's coming out on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. I was at my daughter's volleyball game tonight, and I started getting blown up. Have you seen David Jones? Have you seen David Jones?
You got into a little bit of an altercation.
Got into a bit of a kerfluffle out there in is it the FIBA world? Is it? I don't even know what games are going on right now. But he got into it, got suspended for 2 games. Don't know the backstory, but I have the video. Do you want to see it?
Show it. Come on.
Look at old David Jones getting swaggy with it.
They squabble.
Look at him in number 8 right here. Whoa.
Yeah.
Jeez, David.
Ooh. Hey, we don't need to be throwing punches out here, man.
He's getting after it. He's coming back. Oh, he's it. Oh.
Is that David?
It's David.
Oh my God.
That's David right there getting held up by the
That's not good. That's not good.
Wow.
He circled the wagon. Came back.
He went back for more, man. He went back for more.
Hey, dude,
anyway,
can we be honest though? That's a nice. Yeah. He's got a nice little straight left.
What I was impressed with, he was throwing with his right hand for a little bit too there. He must have some hands on him, man. Like, I don't know what happened in that game, but whew, he's that crime in downtown Memphis has gotten to him, man. The man's throwing punches on the world stage, man. This is crazy.
It's that Memphis crime, man.
It's that Memphis crime.
We taught him wrong.
We taught him wrong. No, apparently we taught him right. I don't know. He never. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get past David Jones. Shout out to David Jones. Now he's David Jones Garcia. He's a 2-way with the San Antonio Spurs. So shout out to him. Anyway, let's get to topic number 1. It's not only week 1 for Memphis Tiger football, but it is week 1 for college football. We did have some week 0 games. That Dublin, Ireland game, the Iowa State versus Kansas State, was not a fun watch. I'll be frank with you.
Yeah.
The most entertaining part was Avery Johnson's dad and brother get into a fight after the game.
Getting into it. It's that if they've been to downtown Memphis, I don't know.
Yeah. Was that in Memphis or was that in Dublin? I don't know.
Can I get a pet peeve off my chest?
Of course, go for it.
Whenever we play international games, National Football League, college football, the playing surface is always horrible.
Horrible.
Like, can we have some foresight and fix that shit?
Yeah.
Because it made the beginning of that game unwatchable.
Yeah, it was tough.
All 3 turnovers came in like the first quarter and a half.
Yeah.
And it just looked bad. Offensive football was not great. So, like, it started to get better in the second half, to give credit where credit's due to both teams. And it came down to the final possession. Like, that's all great. And there was a couple of fourth down calls that were very fun to watch, and they shifted the game. Avery Johnson early in the fourth quarter. Kansas State's on their own 30. He gets stuffed. Iowa State takes over, takes a 10-point lead. And then at the end of the game, 4th and 3, Rocco Beck runs for the first down on 4th and 3 to ice the game. But the playing surface always takes something away.
It does.
Whether they're in the NFL going to Brazil or London or Ireland or Germany, playing surface always sucks. And the neutral site game sometimes, like we saw the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, Eagles-Chiefs was horrible because of that.
Right.
Can we do something about this?
Yeah.
These playing surfaces stink.
It's like European sports come over here, the soccer teams come over here, and their soccer pitches stink over here. For some reason, they can't get them right over here. But then we go play American football over there, and it's like, I don't know what's happening.
They're slipping and sliding everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad.
Yeah, it's
Pisses
not good.
me off. All right.
But
now,
let's get to week 1, man. What we got some monster heavy duty matchups coming up in week 1.
We have 3 top 10 matchups. Pull them up. Pull them
up.
The
They are
hell
up, baby. Let's go.
Come on. Come on. We need do you have the real one?
Oh my gosh. It can't I hit the wrong button.
Pull them
there
up.
we go. There it is.
Week 1, we have 3 top 10 matchups in week 1. I mean, you can't beat it. Number 1, Texas visits Ohio State. Ohio State 2.5-point favorites. First time ever since we've been tracking these things, where the AP preseason number 1 team is a underdog.
Yeah.
In week 1 of the season. LSU visits Clemson. Clemson 3.5-point favorites. Notre Dame visits Miami. Notre Dame, newly named starter CJ Carr, 2.5-point favorites. What I love about these top 10 matchups that we're getting this week is you get the best of everything, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you just sort of think about quarterback position and history. Notre Dame, Miami, of course, Catholics versus convicts. Like there's that throwback. I know that the things have changed since then, but it's Catholics versus convicts. It's a throwback sort of uniform and program matchup.
Sometimes
LSU
the
versus
Catholics
Clemson
are the convicts, if you know what I'm saying.
LSU versus Clemson. You have the 2 incumbent starting returning quarterbacks that everyone is hyping up as NFL draft picks, first rounders. LSU has Garrett Nussmeier. Clemson has Cade Klubnik. And then in Texas, Ohio State, you're getting 2 premier top 5 programs with first-year starters. Yeah. One being Arch Manning, who was a 5-star, one being Julian Sayin, who was a former 5-star. So, like, I just feel like the differentiation in every one of these matchups makes for a very exciting week 1. Now, let me ask you, Kenny, and I know you're not a big college football bettor, but if you were going to place one wager on any one of these 3 games when it comes to the spread or winner, where are you looking?
I think anytime you tell me that a road team is a favorite in week 1, I'm always going to probably bet the underdog in that game. And so I am going to go with, I would bet that Notre Dame versus Miami matchup. Miami at home, first week of the season. Notre Dame is a -2.5 favorite. I think I'm going to go with Miami. I might lose a lot of money, but
you know what's funny? Out of all these games, my favorite is the opposite of what you just took.
Really?
I love Notre Dame -2.5 on the road.
All right.
And the reason I say that is a team they were in the national championship last year. CJ Carr, I know he's a brand new starting quarterback, but how much does he really have to do with Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love in his backfield? The offensive line, like every single one of these offensive linemen, including Pat Coogan at center, are going to probably be draft picks at some point. I think 4 of the 5 could come out this year, and then they have a young guy. So, like, I feel pretty good about them being able to handle Miami's defensive front, run the ball really well. Their wide receivers, while they don't have like crazy production because of the offense they've been in all these years, Jaden Greathouse comes back, Jordan Faison comes back. They bring over a guy who caught for 800 yards last year. His name is escaping me at this moment. So they have a decent wide receiver room. Defensive side of the ball, they have a really, really good middle linebacker, Drake Bowen, who's going to be an NFL draft pick. I think that, you look at the defensive line, they have some big solid guys. Gabriel Rubio sort of leads the way there. Their secondary, nearly all returners, all returning guys besides Benjamin Morrison, who was their guy last year at the corner position. I love how Marcus Freeman coaches defense.
Yeah.
Always rough and tumble. I think obviously that game comes down to, can Miami keep Carson Beck upright? I've heard some good things about their offensive line, but also how are you dealing with yourself on both sides in the trench battle? I just think Notre Dame, because of that edge they have, is going to win this game and win it by probably a touchdown or more.
And I agree with you. I would suspect that Notre Dame will probably win this game. But if I'm a bettor, though, right? Like I'm going, they're on the road,
home team,
hyped up, week 1, Carson Beck. They got all the money line tells me to throw a little bit of dollars Miami's way, because you're not going to make much if you bet on Notre Dame. Notre Dame could easily win this game. Obviously, they're favored. Yeah. But I would, if I'm betting just on the money line, if I'm betting just as a uninterested observer in that game, I would say I would pick Miami. Now, that Texas-Ohio State game,
I was going to mention this one.
I just, like, let me ask you this. You, former player, is there a part of you that wants to see your boy Arch Manning struggle a little bit? Do you want to see him struggle a little bit?
Listen, here's the thing. It's kind of mean to say that because he said all the right things. Like I remember at SEC Media Days, they asked him, "Oh, you're the favorite to win the Heisman. You guys are favorites to win the national championship." Crazy. And he specifically pointed out the favorite to win Heisman. He goes, "I don't know where people get these opinions. I've started 2 games." So like he says the right things and he seems to have a good head on his shoulders, and I think he's going to be good. But the hype that Paul Feinbaum throws on his name, the hype that everyone's throwing on this kid's name, it makes me sit there and I want those people to be humbled more than I want Arch to be humbled.
Yeah.
Because, like, listen, man, first game he's ever starting as a full-time starting quarterback's on the road against the reigning national champs.
It's crazy.
And, like, here's the thing. They have some dogs on defense, especially in the secondary, bro. Yeah. Especially in this. Caleb Downs might be the best player in the country at free safety. Lorenzo Styles is a stud at nickel. I mean, like, it's going to be really hard. And I want to think, because of the hype, that Texas can go in there and handle business. But I think it comes down to, can their wide receivers make contested catches? Because they will be blanketed all day, all night. And can they run the ball at least a little bit against that front seven?
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's hard for me to imagine with a first-year starting quarterback, regardless of what his last name is, that he's going to be the reason that you get lifted up over the reigning national championships. I know everybody wants that storyline. That's just not one that I think's real in any way, shape, or form.
I just don't understand necessarily how they are slotted to be the number 1 team, the favorite to win the national championship, the favorite to have the Heisman Trophy winner, and they're underdogs in the first week. Like I mean, I get it. I get
you're on the road in the shoe.
Like, I get them being underdogs to the reigning national champion, but
why are you number 1 in the preseason?
Why are you number 1 in the preseason? That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm excited because it's an awesome week 1 slate of top 10 matchups. So we get to watch Texas, Ohio State. Then we get to go celebrate the 2014 Memphis Tiger football team at the Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. Meanwhile, in between that, Gabe, I'm excited because we have at Bluff City Media our first college football Saturday show at Grind City Brewing at 10:30, starting at 10:30. Myself and Rusty Witten are going to be going live from
the dock,
Grind City Brewing, and it is going to be a blast. We're going to put out a schedule of the days that we're going to be out there. For right now, it's going to be 2 Saturdays out of the month throughout the entirety of college football. We'll be out there. Grind City Brewing is a fantastic tap room, and they are looking to make their tap room on Saturday morning is the spot to go to for college football. And and Bluff City Media is going to be a part of it. We're going to be doing, I know you couldn't make it this week because of your celebration of your 2014 team, but Gabe, you'll be coming out there. Christian Fowler will be out there. Drew Gann will be out there. I'll be out there. Rusty Wood will be out there. It's going to be such a fun time. Free giveaways, lots of really good beer. Come and hang out with us, man. It's going to be a great time.
And real quick, this final game, it will be a great time. I can't wait to get out there and help out, participate. This last game, LSU Clemson, I just want you to pay attention to one thing. If you watch this game, when you watch this game, Kenny.
Yes.
Clemson's defensive line. That's all I want you to pay attention to.
Just watch them. Are they good?
Huh? And I think if LSU even wants to stick in that game, much less win it, that offensive line is going to have to keep Garrett Nussmeier upright. Peter Woods is going to be probably a top 5 pick next year. DeMonte Capehart is a really, really good space-eating D tackle, really good in the run game. Will Helt is a guy that they one of the few transfers that has ever been brought over to Clemson, because Dabo Swinney doesn't do that. He comes over from Purdue. He had 5 sacks last year, but he got hurt and had some injuries. He's really good off the edge. And TJ Parker's their other DN. You know how many sacks he had last year?
How many?
11. He'll be a first-round pick too. So like that D line versus LSU's O line. Pay attention. That's where the money's made coming up on Saturday.
So the demise of Dabo Swinney at Clemson has been
it's always been greatly exaggerated. It's the biggest issue we had, in my opinion, was offensive skill position.
Right.
Like the Sammy Watkins weren't walking through that door. The DeAndre Hopkins weren't walking through that door. That may have been with the old coach. All those guys just left and they couldn't replace them. But this year, you have Bryant Wesco Jr., you have Antonio Williams, both guys that caught for over 600 yards. I think Antonio Williams caught for nearly 1,000.
Yeah.
So, and they're another year older, returning starters. I think this offense is going to be very improved. So, I'm a big believer in Clemson heading into the season, man. I really am. They have a good squad.
Let's get it. Let's have some fun, man. Y'all come out and hang out with us every Saturday or 2 Saturdays a month. Starting at what in the world? My phone's going crazy over here. Sorry, I was like, I'm hearing something in my headphones and I don't know what it is. But no, it'll be a fun weekend. Fun time to come down to the Ground City Brewing tap room, hang out with us over there. We'll be watching all the games, talking about them live on air and throughout the entirety of the tap room. We'll have speakers up and everything. We'll have a good time. Let's get to topic number 2. And there's been some developments in this, even in the last hour or two, that we need to talk about. But the Shedeur Sanders saga continues. Once again, you asked me to replace a banner because it was going a little bit overboard. But Gabe, are Shedeur Sanders fans becoming as ridiculous as Caitlin Clark fans?
Forgive me. They may be worse.
Whoa.
and the only reason I say that is because the likelihood of Shedeur Sanders ever becoming like a full-on franchise starting quarterback and making Pro Bowls, being an all-pro, it's low. Caitlin Clark, at least, is like
she's awesome.
she's the draw, brother, of the WNBA. Now, when it comes to like the blatant racism from some of them, like, yeah, that's too much. But Shedeur Sanders being set up for failure is like the biggest thing. He went 3 for 6, 14 yards,
right? Fumbled
the ball, got sacked 5 times.
It was 5 sacks,
in the 3rd preseason game. And it's like, oh, well, he set up for failure. 4 of the 5 O linemen he was playing with got waived, and
they all got cut.
And listen, the 4 of the 5 offensive linemen getting waived, that is true. So do with that what you will. Yeah. I watched every snap Shedeur Sanders was in there for.
Yeah, I would like to know, how many snaps do you think that all these Shedeur Sanders fans watched of that game? Over, under.
I just, 5. You know what I hate is the excuses.
Yeah.
It's never Shedeur's fault.
Right.
But I can tell you from watching that film.
Yeah.
It was Shedeur's fault.
You're a big Shedeur Sanders fan. You believe in what he can do.
He played poorly, very poorly.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of the things that scared the hell out of me coming out of Colorado.
Right.
My biggest concern about him was never living to fight another day, not taking checkdowns, holding on to the ball too long. From snap to throw this preseason, he's at 3.9 seconds. Now, some people will say, oh, that sounds quick. League average is between 2.4 and 2.9. So he's quick. A second late,
right?
On average. That game against the Rams, he just held on to the ball and wouldn't throw it away.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take the easy throw. He wanted to be a home run hitter. And the NFL, especially at the quarterback position, is about taking the easy play when it's there.
Right.
So he has to learn that. Now, I think that skill set he has to be able to extend plays and having that confidence in himself to keep his eyes downfield and make something happen for his team, make something out of nothing. That's a blessing, but it's also a curse.
Right.
I talked about the curse. Like, it's a blessing. Like, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson aren't the same quarterback if they don't do that at the level that they do it.
Right.
Off-platform plays, all that.
Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer because of it.
You have to use it responsibly.
Yeah.
And I thought this weekend against the Rams, he was very irresponsible about it.
Well,
he was trying to make a highlight play when you just need to make the play.
Gabe, it's because he's an entertainer and not a competitor. That's why.
So you're saying Dylan Gabriel was right? But yeah, man, I listen. And here's the thing: if you think they're setting him up for failure, they just traded Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, they just traded Kenny Pickett.
They've cleared up the quarterback room for him to make the active roster. So,
yeah, he's on the roster. He's making the team, right?
Well, they're still doing cuts and waves, and
he's going to make the
squad stuff.
I thought it was announced that he made the team. Am I wrong?
But it's kind of funny. Like, Dylan Gabriel's getting a lot of love right now, and I kind of get it as compared to Shedeur, just because Dylan Gabriel's like the anti-Shedeur. Like, Shedeur has more athleticism, probably a better arm, better accuracy, all that.
He's bigger.
And he's bigger. But Dylan Gabriel, if he doesn't take the easiest throw, easiest play every time he takes a snap,
right?
I mean, it's what he does every time.
Yeah.
And it's not flashy, it's not exciting, but that's what we've learned in the NFL at the quarterback position, keeps you around for a long time.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Well, let's get to topic number 3. We'll finish the show out with this one. I have the video. We've made an executive decision to not show the video because it is really difficult to watch, Gabe. But Rampage Jackson, former mixed martial arts, UFC light heavyweight champion, Hall of Famer, one of the greats, who is actually from Memphis, went to Ridgeway High School, has a son named Raja Jackson, who is also a mixed martial arts fighter. I don't think
more of a kick streamer than anything.
Yeah, they've gotten kind of they've repopularized or become famous again through the kick streaming app, where Rampage does his kick streaming, and it's it is just a cluster of a meltdown of a nonsense live stream. It's just nonsense all the way through and through. It makes me sad that a 40-year-old Hall of Fame mixed martial artist has to make money, and he's making a lot of money doing it, has to do what he's doing. It's just kind of gross, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the streamer culture, the streamer community. I think it's kind of weird. But anyway, streamed out this weekend. Raja Jackson was at a independent wrestling show. I think it was called. Is it called Knockouts or something like that?
Knock X Pro Wrestling in LA.
In LA, he went out there and it was very clear, Gabe, that he was supposed to do some kind of work, right? Like he was going to come into the ring, break up a match. There was a wrestler named Psycho Stu, who's a former, Army special, anyway.
He had PTSD, and
he's a wrestler, and so there were some streams coming out where it looked like Psycho Stu was getting in his face and was trying to sell that Raja was there, and they were creating some kind of beef behind the scenes, and Stu hit him in the head with a open beer can.
Yeah, I don't think that was planned. I think the story that I have gathered is Psycho Stu, otherwise known as Stuart Smith, that's his real name. He thought that Raja was a wrestler and that he was newly signed to KnockX Pro Wrestling. And he took like a fake beer can that they use in their wrestling as a prop and smashed it over Raja Jackson's head. Raja took exception to that. Like, what the fuck was that? Why'd you do that?
Like, fuck, literally, word for word.
He's like, I think at one point he said, I'm tired of people disrespecting me and yada, yada, yada. But later on, Psycho Stu came up and said, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were not a wrestler. If I would have known that, none of that would have happened. Well, I would say this too. Probably shouldn't happen even if he was a wrestler, but that's beyond the point. There was also caught on the kick stream while Raja Jackson was headed ringside to watch and then ultimately participate in the match. One of the promoters said, don't worry about it, man, because he was still Raja annoyed by what happened with Psycho Stu. The promoter said, well, you can get your payback in the ring. Raja took that seriously. Like, he took that at face value, like, I'm going to go kick this guy's ass. So he does his scheduled appearance in ring, picks up Psycho Stu, slams him directly on the back of his head, knocks him out cold as soon as he slammed him.
Instantly.
He proceeds to straddle him, full mount basically, and rain down 22 bare knuckle punches directly in his face. And I think the thing is, like, there's a lot of like woe is me people out there. There's a lot of white guys that'll be like, when Myles Garrett swings his helmet at Mason Rudolph, arrest Myles Garrett, that's attempted murder, blah blah blah. I always think that's ridiculous, but I will say about this situation, that was attempted murder by Raja Jackson. If you watch the stream, he in no way was going to stop punching Stu directly in his mouth. He was probably about 10 punches away from killing him. And if you know anything about Psycho Stu and what happened, he was out cold for a full day and only today regained consciousness and is now in stable condition. So I don't know how this looks and what this looks like on the legal side of things. But Raja, that was like blackout, scary. He could kill this guy right now if no one intervenes. He will kill this guy if no one intervenes.
Yeah, I look at it and I say the whole situation from jump was completely screwed up.
Yeah.
You see it, and if you're a fan of entertainment, wrestling entertainment, whatever you want to call it, if you're a fan of that, you see non-wrestlers get into the ring and be a part of the show, right? Like you're seeing it right now with Jelly Roll. He's having a whole storyline with Logan Paul. I think it might be over now, but Logan Paul and Jelly Roll were wrestling at the last big pay-per-view that they did, and Jelly Roll put Logan Paul through a desk at Jimmy Kimmel, and they got into multiple brawls outside of wrestling, the actual ring. But there's a level of professionalism that the WWE brings to the table, where there's communication that's had, where there's an understanding of how these things work.
Yes.
My issue with it from the jump was, number one, Raja had no business being a part of that. He's not famous. He's not a celebrity. He's a kick streamer that's gotten a name because his dad has a kick stream account. That annoyed me because, like, what the hell are you doing bringing that dude to be a part of the show?
I didn't even know he was streaming on Kick and was popular until
that happened, right? Well, that's why
I don't even know how particularly popular he is.
It's the level of celebrity that independent wrestling organization in LA can get. And so again, but the other part of it is, it was clear those wrestlers that were there, the ones that Psycho Stu being one of them, the other one that was talking to him like, hey, he's not a worker, he's not this. All those guys behind the scenes, dude, were blasted out of their mind drunk. And it just felt like just this clusterfuck of unprofessionalism that just was a disaster, a recipe for disaster waiting to happen. Because the problem is those guys think, okay, this guy's here to work. This guy's here to do something. Clearly Raja wasn't in that place. Like he didn't know that was going to happen. The communication behind the scenes between the independent wrestling organization, Raja's people, and Raja himself clearly was lacking in every way. There was zero understanding and knowledge of what was about to happen.
I also, there's a couple of things that really bother me. One, when there was an altercation between the wrestler he was supposed to get in an altercation with in the ring for entertainment purposes, but when there's a real altercation backstage before the thing, you need to probably step in and make it clear the expectations, or take Psycho Stu out of that situation altogether.
Or take Raja out of the situation.
Or take Raja away and say, you're going to slam another, you're going to,
we're good. We're not
you're going to go tackle and slam another wrestler that you didn't get into an altercation with. The other thing, the promoter on the way back said you can get your payback in the ring.
Crazy, bro.
How fucking unprofessional is that? This is entertainment. This is not real. Like, I could see where that's confused. I'm in no way saying Raja should have done what he did. But what do you mean you can get payback in the ring? Isn't this fake? Isn't this... Like, what do you mean? Like, how are you supposed to get payback in a made-for-entertainment wrestling match? Like, I just... That was a message that guy needs to take on the chin and take responsibility for. Don't tell him that. Don't say that out loud.
Bad situation all the way through and through, dude.
Yep.
Ugly. I hated it. I hated watching the video. And again, like we were talking about this on another show today or yesterday, and I saw a comment of like, well, MMA fighters just think differently. And I'm like, bro, no, like this is not like this. Let's not place this on the MMA fighter being different, right? Like Raja Jackson he might train MMA, but he's not a mixed martial artist like that. Like those dudes don't do that. That to me is just kind of lumping that situation into like these predetermined narratives about these wrestlers and these fighters. That was just a messed up situation from the jump, man.
I think it's absolutely insane though that he beat that dude within an inch of his life in front of like a crowd watching,
and wouldn't stop unless he got pulled. It took 6 dudes to pull him off.
Like the first dude walked up was scared to intervene because of how angry he was.
Yeah,
like he was clearly blacking out in that moment.
Yeah, it was bad. I hated every bit of it.
I'm done.
I'm done with it too. I just hated it, man. Especially the two of us being massive mixed martial arts fans. Like I love
that on every mixed martial artist, whoever that commenter was yesterday. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Yeah, that seems ridiculous. All right, now you know what else is done? Episode 141 of the On the Bluff podcast. Like, here's what you need to do though. You need to go to Bluff City Media on YouTube. You need to subscribe. You need to go watch all of our wonderful podcasts. Make sure you check out at Grind City Brewing coming up during the football season on Saturdays. We'll have a college football show. I'll be out there. Rusty Witten will be out there. Kenny will be out there. It'll be a great time. Make sure you enjoy your college football Saturday coming up for week 1. But until next week.
I got something else they need to watch. Y'all need to listen. Turn on your radios every single day. It starts at 2:00 or 1? Are you at 2:00? 2 to 4.
You don't even know when my show is.
I listen to it as much as I can possibly listen to it.
4 to 7, brother.
4 to 7 on ESPN 92.9 ESPN Radio here in Memphis. The Gabe Kuhn Show. Check it out, man.
Can you try to give me trying to give me a plug?
I gave you a plug.
Don't even know when it runs.
Listen. Ain't that a bitch? No, anyway.
Yeah.
Shout out
But-
to you, man. And shout out to the 2014 Memphis Tiger football team getting
Yes, sir.
recognized and
We'll be
honored
in
this
attendance
weekend,
coming
man.
up on Saturday with all you Tiger fans that make it out to the Chattanooga game. But until next week, we're going to go ahead and say peace.
Thank you for listening to On the Bluff. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports and how you can become an insider.